When you're in contract to buy commercial real estate and you find a bunch of repairs, things that need to be fixed, who pays for that? That's a great question. That's what we're talking about in our video today. My name is Dave. I'm with Commercial Real Estate Explained, where we help people make informed decisions about commercial real estate. So when you're in contract, you're doing your due diligence, you're going to find repairs, you're going to find issues. Talked about that in a previous video, but brace yourself for the fact that unless it's a brand new building, there are things that are going to be broken and there are things that need to be repaired. You just have to expect that. Who pays for these things is more of an interesting question. Generally speaking, most purchase and sale agreements are going to say the building is being sold in an as-is condition. Essentially, you are agreeing to buy it as it currently is. Now, that language is there for the seller, but the due diligence period is essentially there for the buyer. So since you're agreeing to buy it as is, you need a decent amount of time to get specialists and inspectors through and make sure you really understand what you're buying and the condition that it's in. So, even though the contract says it's an as-is condition, when you're the buyer and you find something that's, significant, it is possible for you to ask the seller to take care of it or to give you a discount on the price. As we talked about before, go into it with reasonable expectations. I've had clients who have gotten a inspection done, and of course there's 30, things ranging from small to big that need to be repaired, and they basically, they send the report to the seller and say, I expect them to fix all these things. That's just not a reasonable expectation. Unless you have a ton of leverage as the buyer, a seller is not going to go through a laundry list and fix 30 small things. There's an expectation that when you buy a used commercial building, there's going to be some wear and tear on it, and that's why the contract says you're buying it in as-is condition. Now, kind of the outlier to that rule is focusing on large dollar repairs and big ticket items. You're going to look into everything during due diligence, but there are a few big, ticket things that you want to focus on. If you go into contract and something that you couldn't have known about is a massive repair that needs to be done, that might be where it's a little more appropriate to ask for the seller to pay for it, or ask for the seller to help you with the expense or give you a credit against the purchase price. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, and it's totally negotiable. I think the key to keep in mind is that the seller is not obligated to do anything for you, just like you have every right to cancel the transaction and walk away. So that's kind of the give and take of the transaction, is you identify things that need to potentially be repaired, and you want to be strategic in what you ask for. If you give them a laundry list of tiny things, that's going to be batted away. If you go to them, for example, let's say that you're told during the tour that the HVAC system is 3 years old, and your inspector gets up there and determines that, one of the HVACs is 3 years old, but the other 3 are 20 years old. That's something you couldn't have reasonably known during the walkthrough, during the tour, and that might change your underwriting for the building. I think that's something that you want to kind of dig in and potentially fight for. If you go through and you see the condition of the building and then you're in contract and you say, this carpet is in really bad condition, so I'd like a discount based on that. When you toured the building, you reasonably looked at the carpet, you saw it then, and then you made an offer based on what you saw there. Of course, you can ask for a discount based on ugly carpet or something like that. It's just going to be seen as a lot less reasonable. I recommend to my clients to focus on the big ticket items and focus on things that you couldn't really have known during a reasonable tour in person. So once again, I think the important thing is to just have reasonable expectations going into it. If you believe that anything that's broken will be fixed by the seller, you are probably going to be disappointed. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you got any value from this video, please hit subscribe. That'd be great. We're putting out one video a week. We're kind of walking step by step through this, what it takes to buy commercial real estate. So hope everyone's getting some tricks and tips and sharing this with friends. Thanks and have a great week.